Alright, so this was originally going to be uploaded before I left, but I couldn't. I finished the books right the night before, and then the day of, we left at like 9. So, there's no way I could have done all that. But without further ado, these are the books that I read the week before I went on vacation. And I had. So, usually I read library books, and I just like that. Usually I read the comics from my library. And it's like the majority of the books that I'm reading. It's kind of like a routine, honestly. It never really. There's no real break from it. The only real break is when I will put one of my books in the mix. But I mean, it's still comics in general, obviously. I'm saying like it's anything different. But usually, I'm not reading books. The majority of the books I read are ones that are not in my personal collection, and because I didn't want to, like, I was fine with bringing my library books with me to on vacation, and because I wanted to bring them all with me, as I could have, except for a few that were just too big, one that was too big. I um, I decided to read some of the books in my personal collection. Now, some of these I've read before, but some of these I'm reading for the first time. Starting with Batman the Imposter, which is a first time read, and I thought this was pretty good. This is a DC Black Label, 17 up, and it's one of those that definitely, yes, it is, but it's not like, just see the prices, because it's weird that this one's $6.99. Volume issue 3 is $6.99, and then first two are $5.99. I don't know why it changed, because it was not like they look the same length. But this one I thought was pretty good. I will definitely want to read it again. And I thought it was a bit too like all over the place at times, but I still thought it was very enjoyable. And I like this kind of story for Batman. Something different, and it was something that I wouldn't say. You know, giving the argument or something different, but it was just what just what a DC Black Label book should be. And it was 17 up, but it wasn't a whole lot of language. It was like, I think it was like per issue, and it's like 50 pages. There was maybe, well, no, one had like 5 F words, so some had more than others. The next one I found out after the fact that it's not a DC Black Label book, and I'm going to double check to make sure I'm right. Yeah, it's not. And that is Robin and Batman. The reason why I thought it was a DC Black Label is because it's a prestige format, thicker book. And this one I thought was thoroughly enjoyable. Probably my favorite. Oh, it's not a DC Black Label book because it's not a DC Black Label book, but one of the better DC, technically Elseworlds tales. This one, so first one was written by Mattson Tomlin with artwork by Andrea Sorrentino. And what's funny about that, and I believe actually Joy Belair, who's the colorist, I believe that's the same exact creative team, Andrea and Jordy, for Jeff Lemire's Gideon Falls. So it's kind of funny that we have the artist for Gideon Falls and a writer for Gideon Falls. And this time the artist is Justin Ewan, so it's the same creative team, like exact creative team as did Descender and Ascender. Which those books I'll be getting once the compendium come out. Once the compendiums come out. One's already out, but wait until Ascender comes out. I'll get those both. I think it's coming out in October. I don't know. I'm gonna definitely thinking about breaking my rule, not for this month, next month. Which I hope I can get those books ordered pretty soon here for this month, April. But for this month and next month, I'm gonna try and not get so many books that I'll have all the books by this author. I did that this past month because I was for March because I was fine with getting the books I wanted to get. But I don't like doing that. But anyways, I will break that rule, like for Descender and Ascender, because it's probably best that I try and get some of the Jeff Lemire books now, rather than having to get everything. Like, because I think at this point, if I were to get everything Jeff Lemire has done so far for Image Comics, it would be the exact, like, maybe even more so, more expensive than my allowance for my birthday. But anyways, Robin and Batman I thoroughly enjoyed, and I thought it was a great, it's honestly a great introduction to new fans too. But it definitely solidified the fact that Jeff Lemire needs to do a Batman ongoing if he hasn't already. I think he did maybe a series that someone else started for New 52 or something, and he did like volume 5 or whatever. I know he did volume 5 for Hawkeye, which is ironic because Matt Fraction did the first 4 volumes, and I got both a Matt Fraction book and Jeff Lemire book for this past month. The Jeff Lemire book was co-written by Matt Kindt. It was Cosmic Detective, so it wasn't technically breaking that rule with that one. But anyways, moving on. This is a reread, and this is Amazing Fantasy, and this has been a long time coming. I remember really liking this, and I kept meaning to pick it back up again. I'm glad I did, because this is insanely good. This is written by Kerry Kyle Andrews, and then he has everything. I think even the lettering he does. He's the artist, writer, colorist, and I believe letterer. Just double check to see if just make sure that I'm right, because I could be wrong. But this was absolutely fantastic. If you like fantasy, if you want something different with Marvel Comics, then this, but with the same characters, this will tick all those boxes. Trying to find the credits page. There it is. Yeah, this is by Kerry Andrews. Did everything. Even the cover artist he did. I mean, the covers he did. This next one is also a reread. It's also kind of a long time coming too, and to reread it, and that is Jessica Jones' Blind Spot. Now, it's partial spoiler. It's not really a spoiler, because I'm just saying that I'm saying what the next volume is. But the next volume is called Purple Daughter, and that's what I've been dying to read. I still have not gone down to reading it. Next time they have a sale, I'm doing it. It's gonna be like $4, and no matter what, pretty much no matter what, I'm going to get that. There's another sale for Jessica Jones. This was phenomenal. This is written by Kelly Thompson, and artist is, where is the credits page? In the back? Not the back. It's not here. Okay, so I gotta go here. This was probably, so Brian Michael Bendis, Matthias de Lewis is the artist. And that just must be colors too. Now, Brian Michael Bendis is the creator of Jessica Jones, and for I want to say, hell, probably 90% of, at least 90%, maybe 85% of Jessica Jones' entire, comic book legacy has been written by him. All those, I would say he's written 90% of, or 85% of Jessica Jones stories. So, when the torch was passed on to Kelly Thompson, she definitely, what's the word? What's the word? She definitely proved that she was capable of doing the job. And she did it pretty well. And she does it really well. This is one that I think is a bit too wordy at times. I think, overall, Brian Bendis' Jessica Jones wasn't as wordy, but that's, a minor, very, very minor, what do you call it? God, I'm with my brain mush right now. A very minor, you know what I mean. But that's, not even a complaint. That shouldn't even matter. I don't, God, what's the word? I don't know. But Jessica Jones Blind Spot, it's good. Read it. I don't know why I have to be, doing, this whole fucking song and dance right. Great book. If you like Jessica Jones, you'll like that one if you haven't read it already. This one's written by, there's some colorist, sorry. So it's written by Garth Ennis. This is Punisher Soviet. Jason Burrows is penciler. Inks is done by Guillermo Ortega. And Nolan Woodard does the colors for Punisher Soviet. A series that I thought was pretty damn good and a nice return to form. Because this, unlike Jessica Jones started out as a Max comic, so it's an R-rated comics. Now, that Blind Spot was, it was parental advisory, which they were allowed to have, a few S words, but all the more explicit language was still censored, which I think is really stupid. I don't know why they did that. It's just gone all maybe it's with Tom King, where Tom King's, even though it's explicit, even though that's 17 up DC Black Label, the harsher language is still censored in Strange Adventures. I've heard of Human Target too, but I've not read Human Target yet. I have read Strange Adventures, and it was like several times in one issue there were several censored F words. So maybe Kelly Thompson was the same way. Like she didn't want to have the harsher language uncensored, but I still think it should have been a Max comic. But this is a Max comic, and that really suits this comic well. I think Punisher in general should always be Marvel Max, like never anything below, unless they have a crossover with like the main continuity of Spider-Man or whatever, like a, because they would do that. Obviously, I'm sure it's where he where he made his first appearance, so they're definitely gonna want to on his anniversary or sometime soon do a crossover with Spider-Man. Although I say they want to, but they should. They want to, but they should, because I've heard recently that Punisher in the recent comics has been getting really screwed over, and not just the fact that it's not Max Comics, but just everything else. Like the fact that not nitpick, that was what we're looking for. That's what I was looking for. The fact that saying Punisher should always be Marvel Max is the nitpickiest of nitpicks. Says a lot about what they've been doing with Punisher's character recently. But yes, Punisher Soviet I think is very good and a very hard-hitting tale as well. Definitely one that you'll want to. If you read 2 comics a day, if you read at least 2 comics a day, I read like more than that. But if you read at least 2 comics a day, you're going to want to have something more lighthearted to read afterwards. To as a palate cleanser. Batman the Detective. This one I thought was mostly good. I think that it's a bit too convoluted for its own good. Maybe it was me, I don't know, but I still think it was good enough, and I'm still glad I finally read it, because this was first time read, and I've had this book for a long time. I definitely think it's worth checking out if you're a fan of Tom Taylor, definitely. But other than, I even say if you don't like Tom Taylor, you should check this book out. But don't expect anything groundbreaking. This is not as... Honestly, I wouldn't even say it's his best work, but I can't think of anything. I would say, honestly, I'd say his Suicide Squad was better. And this was a bit, like, not slow, but you definitely felt each page sometimes. So there's some pacing issues, definitely. But other than that, I would say it was still a really good comic. Well, a good comic. Like, average. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Around that price range. Around that, range. Next up is who's the artist? They have been. The artist is Andy Kubert or Adam Kubert. One of the Kuberts here. Let's see. Is it right there? Probably not. Maybe it's not. There. No. There. No. There. No. All right. We're gonna say Andy Kubert. I think it'd be Adam. One of the Kuberts. Ooh. I didn't want to put. Why they have Punisher there? Alright, put that away. And there. Okay. Now, onto the other Tom Taylor book that I read. And this is a reread. And this, yet again, with Amazing Fantasy, was a long time coming. And this is Tom Taylor and Ivan Cabello's Dark Ages. Now, this one, unlike Batman and Detective, was a phenomenal book. This was 8 out of 10. You know what? I don't know, it's like that. It's 2 steps above Batman and Detective. So I would say Batman and Detective is a 6 out of 10 book. It's not a bad score. I thought it was good. Not great, but it's definitely 6 out of 10. But this is 8 out of 10 material. This is what I want out of a, it has to be modern Marvel, fine, but this is what I want out of a modern Marvel Elseworlds tale. This is kind of like a alternate future, but they have like all the modern characters. It's kind of funny seeing like someone like Moon Girl be aged up. It's always been a kid be aged up, and honestly, well, all the characters are aged up, and then seeing Peter Parker finally have the family he's always wanted, like a daughter, and being married to Mary Jane. Something that the writers must really hate. So honestly, if anything, this proves that Tom Taylor should be writing Spider-Man. Oh, and I got this cool little cover for Dark Ages. If I ever go to a con, I should bring this with me. Because those of you who are not in the know, these covers are always blank so that artists can do a little drawing. I don't know why they decided to make it black, because I want to say the majority of people would have like a black marker, but hopefully have a white marker too. sure they do. This one is okay. So it's got some one shots, 2 1-shots here. I think I have more, but there's just one that I found. One so far. 2 so far. This is Dan Waters and who's the artist? But this is Ocean Master, and this is one I read every so often. And every time I read it, I do like it. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but definitely that was the reason why I checked out why I'm checking out other Dan Waters comics. I know he's capable of writing a pretty decent comic. This is above average. Nothing groundbreaking, but above average. Enough to where I would want to see, like I said, I keep saying, I'd want to see Dan Waters on Aquaman because of this one shot. And it does actually continue off on something that was never really touched upon after Jeff Johns' Aquaman run, which is really nice. I like that whole dynamic between Ocean Master and the woman on land. Like the woman, how would you say that? The human woman they is in a relationship with. And then Miguel Mondiza is the artist, and Ivan Placienza is the colorist. Yeah, definitely above average. Definitely, it's a one shot. I think it's no, that's that thing. So this is the thing. On DC Comics, that's still $4.99. Even though books been out for a long ass time, it's still full price on DC. Getting it single issues on their digital on Comixology. I have no idea why they're like that. Because Marvel Comics and Image Comics, I know for a fact, when the trade comes out, at the very least, when the trade comes out, or the most I should say, that is when each issue that, like say, like Punisher Soviet, you can get each of those 6 issues for $1.99 a pop, or they trade for like $8.99. But if you want to get the individual issues, actually can't get those on Comixology, I don't think. But Jessica Jones, you can get each issue for $1.99. So if you have like sometimes I'll have the first 5 issues of a series, like I did with Amazing Fantasy. I had 4 out of 5, so I was able to get issue 5 for only $2, rather than wait for a trade that has everything that I don't need, because it's like 4 issues I don't need, and the 5th issue I do need. But DC Comics is like, nope, full price. Even if the trade's been out for years, full price floppy. So I don't know why they do that. It's really annoying. It's not like, oh, well, it's one shot, doesn't have a trade to it. No, it's just in general, it's no matter what, it's full price. This is Deathbringer by Zoe Quinn. This is okay. This is honestly kind of boring sometimes. Most of the time, it's like I should put this. I should really put this in my wrong box, just because of the author. But let's just say Zoe Quinn and Harley Quinn have very similar outlooks on life. Like, they're both crazy. But this one's just okay. Nothing too special. Probably the biggest disappointment. I'm not going to say who the authors are here because it's an anthology series and there's several. But this is the revamped Batman Black and White. And I thought this was just okay. There was nothing in here that stood out. But in the same sense, I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I got ripped off. Like, oh, I could have gone this book instead. Oh, $5.99 is spent on crap. Oh, no, I thought it was just average, like below average, like a 5 out of 10 overall. Nothing groundbreaking at all. Nothing special. But I would say if you want to see more Batman Black and White, just in general, I would say check this out. Sometimes the artwork, almost always, the artwork was phenomenal. So if you just care about artwork, then pick this up. But if you care about story, then maybe see if your local library has it, or your local comic shop has it at a discount. They trade it, or even the individual issues themselves. This next one was probably the strangest Spider-Man book, and that is Taboo's Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. He's Black Eyed Peas. Now this is co-written, so like with all these books written by a celebrity, you have to wonder how much they write when it shows oh, co-written by this guy. Like Matt Kindt wrote Berserker. I think Keanu Reeves put his name on it, so it'd sell more and could get more sales. I mean, he could have read some of it. He could have written some of it. I say read by accident for Matt Kindt. Might have. The thing that may always be here is they don't have the. I just looked at all the pages. There's no what's it right here? The credits page, wherever it is. Because sometimes it's really annoying. Sometimes they put it at the end. Sometimes they put it in the middle, and if you're lucky, they put it right at the start. So I can't find it. It's really weird because usually, why would you not have it? They don't even have it on the front cover here. Now, yeah, it's a very variant edition, but they don't even have it. So Taboo, B. Earl, and is the actual author, if you want to be technical about it. Was it on the first page? It was not. This one is on the first page. Juan. So it's Taboo and B. Earl, the writers, and Juan Ferreira is the artist. Yay, no colors. So I get only 2 names, well, 3 names. It's co-author. But none of this is it's a huge like nitpick in mind, like non-issue. But I really like it when it's just author and then artist. So I like to be complete with my and these ones I probably didn't need to say who wrote it and onto my comic reviews in general. But when I'm going over a comic haul, I like to say artist and writer. Now I'm trying to hurry up here. So this one is probably my favorite recent Punisher book. This is Punisher Kill Crew, written by Jerry Duggan. Oh, no, right here, with the artwork by Juan Ferreira again. But this is like one that I come back to like time and time again. It's like you can probably read this all. You don't read this all in one day. Probably I would say in like 3 hours you could read this book, the entire book, all 5 issues. This is an absolutely phenomenal book, and this is what we need for tie-ins. This is a tie-in to War of the Realms, but for the most part, you don't have to read War of the Realms. Unless you're asking way too many questions, fine. But if you at least know some of what happened, even then they catch you up. This is, you don't have to read War of the Realms. But even if you have read War of the Realms, it is a fantastic add-on. This next one is Chip Zdarsky, and I should know the artist, but I don't remember. And Pasquale Ferry's Spider's Shadow. There's another one you could read in 3 hours, another one that is absolutely phenomenal. We need more of What If. I don't know why we don't get more of What If. And when we do get What If, I don't know why, in general, it was never more than 1 issue. This is, like, proof that you can make it into 5 issues, not have it be like the Hobbit movies, where it was taking one small book and stretching it out. No, this is definitely, should have been 5 issues. If anything, it should have been more. And it makes me want a sequel so damn bad. Because it does end on a sort of a cliffhanger, but it's supposed to be a mini-series. It's kind of like it's an open-ended ending. So if you could have a sequel. You don't have to have a sequel. This is Robert Venditti and Michael Avon Oeming's World of Krypton. This is yet another one you can read within 3 hours. Very fast-paced. Pretty interesting. It's nothing ever where I can tell you what happened in the book. It's very convoluted, but it's my kind of convoluted. To where they're not making. It's not like you have to know what's going on to understand to enjoy it. Because I think overall, Robert Venditti is a good writer, and it kind of is proof that even something like this, you can still enjoy his writing despite not knowing what the hell is going on. So this is 2 writers. This is Weapon X, World War IV. Benjamin Percy is a writer, and Jorge Genti is a penciler. I know it will say it different. It's not the way I was saying it. Wayne Faucher and Mark Dayring are the inkers, and Rachel Rosenberg is the colorist for Weapon 4. And then Weapon H, Ryan Cady is the writer, and David Baldone is the penciler, and Jesus Arbatov is the colorist. But this one I thought was pretty damn good. Nice little one-shot. Makes you want more, but it's just enough to, like, satisfy, honestly, pretty much anyone's appetite. Because it actually ends. No, like, oh, to be continued here. No, it's like a nice little one-shot. Next one is Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy by Jody Houser, and the writer is. Now, one of these I have at the end. I'm just gonna check what I have at the end. I think it's right here too. Last issue. Is it? Nope. This one. I know one of them had at the end. maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. Nope, didn't. Alright, so I'm going to have to go with the first issue and flip until we find it. It's very fun. And I have to go past the first or second page to find out who wrote the damn book. Or did the art, who was the artist of the damn book. Alright, I'm just going to say it's someone Mello. So you know the first, it's like Adriana Mello, I believe. And then Morales. Rags Morales? For the artist? Or the colorist? I'm actually, Hi-Fi is a colorist. I don't know. But Harley Quinn Poison Ivy I thought was pretty damn good. And I believe this is the prequel to the Poison Ivy series, which I do want to check out now. I also a reread. So yeah, Weapon X reread. Will the Krypton reread that? Also, I mean, you guys know. I was saying I read this a bunch of times. And, I mean, it doesn't. I don't think you guys really care. But I like to. I like to say it. Like, kind of to be. So I'm gonna review these all at once, and these are actually the last few books. Well, where the hell is Alpha Flight? Did they put it way back there? Wouldn't have been that careless. Maybe put some more stupid. I think I did. Hang on, let's see. I can't see them here. No, I had to. Oh, so I hope I grabbed everything because I had enough rum in this little basket. So this is Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood, Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, Carnage, Black, White, and Blood, and finally Elektra, Black, White, and Blood. And these are just fantastic palette cleansers. Now, I wouldn't say they're the best palette cleansers because these are a bit longer than an average issue, but good palette cleansers in the sense that if you read something that's really wordy, like anything from Silver Age, you can come to this for something that's a little quicker. If you want to read one comic per day, you can come to this, read your second comic per day, and then just like a nice little palette cleanser. You always want to read more, but you don't want to read something that's so involved, like a Silver Age comic or Sandman. Then you can read this as a nice little palette cleanser. And these are none of these stories I've hated. None of these stories I come across, I'm like, oh, this one again. Nothing. There's all nice little stories. Nothing groundbreaking. Nothing that's like hate seeing the feels or anything like that, or redefines the character. Just nice little stories. I would say that it's definitely worth checking out if. Sorry, we are still going. Are we? Yeah, we are. Sorry, we are still going. But yeah, nice little palette cleansers, nice little stories. Nothing too special though. But I would say it's worth checking out. In general, The Closet, written by James Tynion with Gavin Fullerton as the artist. Now I think they're nice enough to put it at the back. Yeah, it's like it's always at the back. No, my voice cracked. No, why? There it is. It's in the interior cover. Yep, I was right. Artist is Gavin Fullerton and colored by Chris O'Halloran. This one I thought was just okay, because a lot of it is because it ends on a huge-ass cliffhanger. It doesn't really have a defensive ending. Now, my most recent reread, I was like, well, what if there is an ending, but it's ambiguous, and the reader has to find his or her own ending? And you could technically make the argument for that, but I think James Tynion meant to have a Closet Part 2 never did, or a Closet Issue 4 never did. Then we have, this one's, I didn't finish this one, let me review it. So that, as I say, is that. Read a good amount of comics for my vacation. Obviously this is not being uploaded when I'm on vacation. That was my plan. I actually had several plans. That was my backup plan. But I had my backup, which was reviewing Superman Up in the Sky, which I also read before I went on vacation. But yeah, overall, I think all these are, I don't have any wrong books, but all these are recommends. I think the only way I would say not to pick up is Batman Black and White, but they're all, solid books. Even Batman Black and White is solid enough. And that, as I say, is that.